Hey everyone, this is Time here. I'm here to do a Earthbound review deck. So me and Taco are gonna be dueling after this, and we're gonna be testing each other's Earthbound decks and see who's the better duelist. So I'm gonna show you a walk by walk, step by step work through for this deck, and so. It's a 40 card deck with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 card extra deck. Sorry, I don't count the cards really. And so we have them all except two of the Earthbound. So we have the Apu, Yoro, Kazulu, Chahaluha, and Pisku. Now each one of these has an effect that's fine, but you can only control one of them. But if you control a line walker, you can control more than one. So you might want to get at least one of these to summon more than one. Now, Summoner Monk is good in case you want to get rid of Alert Darkness or Terraforming, because then you could special summon one of these guys or another Summoner Monk thing overlay. Now, we're going to be talking about the extra deck after this. Now, Apprentice Piper is actually really good, because if he's flipped up during battle, you can special summon one monster from your hand, any level, which then you could special summon one of the Earthbounds or any monster, and when this card's also destroyed, you can special summon any monster from your hand as well, which means if they negate one effect, you always have a second. That's why I run 3 of these. Now, I run 3 Scapegoats because that just means free tokens to tribute and an extra monster. Now, Mound of the Bound is actually really good because for all of the Earthbounds you need 2 tributes, and you can turn life points into your tribute. So you could pay 2,000 life points to normal summon any of these or any tribute monster. Mound of the Bound is actually pretty good since they're all level 10, but it's good if you have it before you summon it, because if you summon it with this then get rid of it, the Earthbounds will be destroyed. Terraforming is to get Mound of the Bound or Mausoleum to your hand. Earthbound Whirlwind is to, if you control any Earthbound, just destroy all your opponent's spells and traps. Now, Earthbound Revival is in case they destroy one of your field cards and one of your Earthbound Immortals. Now, you can use this one to get any of these back, including this one. This one's a good one in case if it's destroyed. Now, Allure of Darkness, all of your monsters are dark types, so you can get rid of them and then draw 2 cards. Now, these are always good in a pinch, because if your opponent attacks and you have no monsters, you could just summon that, or in case you want to tribute both of them, but set it, because you can only set when this card is activated. You can only set monsters. Then I run 1 pod duality because it stops all the special summonings, which means it stops these and this. Now, Monster Reborn is to bring back any one of these. I would not recommend bringing back any Scapegoats or any of these, but Apprentice Piper would be good to bring back because of his destroying effect. Now, Earthbound Wave. If you control an Earthbound monster, negate any spell trap while you control an Earthbound. Now, Offering of the Immortals is always a good one to have, because if you have lower than 3,000 life points, then which can be caused by Mausoleum of the Emperor, you can special summon 2 serious tokens, and if you do, you can add 1 Earthbound card, 1 Earthbound Mortal, or Earthbound Revival, or Roar the Earthbound to your hand. And the tokens cannot be tributed, as you can see. But they cannot be tributed for an except for an Earthbound Immortal, and cannot be used for synchros. Now, War of the Earthbound, I only run one of them because what's the real chance you're gonna use it? Now, it is used if you have a Kribo or something on the field, you can bait out your opponent, and if you have an Earthbound on the field, like say you have this one right here, a Poo, if you have it while you have Scapegoats in attack mode, if your opponent attacks it and you have a monster that's higher than its original attack, then destroy it and inflict half of its attack to your opponent. Now I run 2 Quaking just in case things get serious, and heads up, I'm gonna tell you the effects of each Earthbound when I'm done. Now I run one Crazy Box because it's one of my favorite cards, and on top of that, it has some pretty good effects if you can roll the dice right. If you roll 1, half your life points. 2, draw a card. 3, discard 1 card from your opponent, and then so on and so on. You can read the rest here and pause the video. I run a Dark Rebellion in case my opponent runs a stronger card, because Dark Rebellion will also work for War of the Earthbound. Gaga Cowboy is a good one to have just in case you want to send a card back to. Oh, hold up. In case you want to see here. And I also run number 103, Ragna Zero. And so if like any monster whose attack is greater than the normal would be added, then I would just destroy it. I also have Castell in case my opponent has a monster he needs a tribute for. I can always just send it back into the deck or switch it to defense. Now, Silent on Arc is always a good one to have because say your opponent has like one monster that's stronger than you and you can't get rid of it unless it's by card effects. You can always use Silent on Arc's effect to make an overlay in it. And then if they try to destroy it, you can always detach 1 and save it. Now I run 3 Tornado Dragons in case they have a heavy background. And yeah, so now we're gonna go back into the Earthbound effects. So a reminder, your opponent cannot target any of these cards for attacks, but it also makes it so they cannot attack you directly. So they cannot attack in general unless you have another monster on the field. Now, this one can attack you directly, but if it destroys a monster, inflict damage equal to its original attack. So like if they have a Blue Eyes and you tribute this one with that one, inflicts 3,000 to your opponent. Now this one, you can discard a card, then you can take control of one face-up monster your opponent controls until the end phase. Now these 2 are the only ones I believe with no graveyard effects. And so next we move on to Kahuru or whatever. Sorry, I can't pronounce it. This one does have a graveyard effect. I mean, destroying effect, and it's really good. So this card cannot be targeted for attacks, and this card can attack your opponent directly. If it would be destroyed, you contribute 1 monster instead, and if you do, half your opponent's life points. Now that's very good, like if he has 8,000 already and hasn't moved. Now this one is actually my favorite. It's a whale, which is Kahuru. It's a fish in dark. So, sorry. And so, while this card is in defense mode, your opponent cannot activate any battle phase. And no damage in no battle phase, which means you can't get rid of this card or any other card on the field. Unless he uses card effects to get rid of it. But while no matter what, if say it's like your first turn and you summon him, and you can only summon into attack mode, but you're scared of your opponent's back row, you can activate his effect, which then inflicts half of his defense as attack. I mean not as attack, as damage. So your opponent would take 12 unless he has a way to lower his defense, and your opponent cannot conduct battle phase 1 defense. Now this one's always good. It's a mosquito, which is a Piscu. And so when this card face-up leaves the field, accept its own effect, so your opponent has to destroy it. Destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, inflict 800 damage for each one. Now, the combos I would like to play are set these set these face down and these face down. If I get any of these in my first hand, or this one, and every single one of them is meant to try and get one of these. Anyway, this is Time here, signing out, and please leave a like, subscribe if you like the video, and have fun. Try to recreate this if you would like. Well, see ya.